And welcome back. Well, the premise of the book, of the best-selling book, The Secret, was simple. It's thinking about what you want and then attracting it into your life.
Yeah, but our next guest says that thinking about it is not enough. He wrote this book. It's called Total Law of Attraction, and he believes that what you need is to add emotion, beliefs, and action to see changes in your life. And joining us now is Dr. David Che with the rest of The Secret, so to speak. It's so nice to have you on the show. And the book is Total Law of Attraction, Unleash Your Secret Creative Power to Get What You Want.
Yes. And one of the main premises is if you go through, well, there's hundreds of Law of Attraction books out there, has got to be, and the basic premise you get from these books is that just thinking about it, positive thinking and things like that, well, you can attract what you want by just thinking about it. And while that has some truth to it, there's much more to the picture than just positive thoughts. What's even more, what we found out, what's even more important than thoughts are the emotions, the strong emotions behind those thoughts.
Okay. That
cause you to attract it, what it is you want. I mean, think about, you know, the car that you want, or the iPhone that you had, or the clothes that you got. It wasn't just that you had the thought of that car, or the house, or, you know, the iPhone, or things like that. There had to have been a strong emotional connection behind that thought that caused you to take action based on the emotion to go towards, to attract that what it is you have.
So do you think the emotion is part of believing it? Because I know that's a big part of the law of attraction, is truly believing it. And maybe if you believe it, you're emotionally invested in having it. Is that kind of that connection?
Yes, it's very closely related, because the first thing is you have the thought of it, because there's only 4 steps to manifestation. I mean, I've simplified it into 4 steps.
Okay.
There's thought, emotion, belief, and action. Okay, so you have the thought of it, what it is you want. Then you add the strong emotion to that thought.
Okay.
And then you have to have the belief, because what causes you to manifest what it is we want is our subconscious mind, which is located in our heart, solar plexus area. And so what causes the subconscious mind to start working is the belief. That's like the activating force. So when you have the thought and the emotion, the belief is what is the spark that ignites that emotion and thought to start your subconscious to slowly manifest that into your reality over time.
You say something interesting, and that is that there are certain desires, such as winning the lottery, as an example, that are very difficult, if not impossible, to manifest, no matter what you do. I mean, you can believe it, you can feel positive about winning it, you can take action and buy the lottery ticket, but you know, that's the kind of thing that's not going to just fall out of the sky and is difficult to manifest. But getting a job, let's say, especially for someone who isn't working right now, or someone who needs to make a change, or someone who needs to go back to school, you say your 4 principles work for that. How so in getting a job?
Well, again, let's go back to emotions for a second, because emotions, you know, in my book, emotions are more important than thoughts in determining what we want. Now, when you go to the media, and the media is talking about, you know, how many jobs are lost, and you look at your next door neighbor, and, you know, you just have this feeling of, you know, you're feeling really depressed just by the exterior things that you see, you know, that go on the outside.
Yeah, and the economy is terrible.
Exactly. But one thing I like to stress to people is the country's bad economy doesn't have to be your bad economy.
Good point.
So stop, you know, I would tell people to stop looking outside, reading the newspaper and all the magazines and the TV, and, you know, looking at your friends and neighbors, you know, not doing well, and having it affect you emotionally. Because you still have the ability to create your own reality based on your thoughts and emotions. So if it's a new job, or another job, or a specific job you want, the key is, the 4 steps is to clearly visualize what it is you want. And as in the book, I go much more in detail in this, but have a strong emotional feeling. You need to feel what it would feel like if you had that job. You have to truly believe that you can get this job. And here's one of the things that separates me from the rest, and it's that you don't have to take immediate action right away. After you do the 3 steps, you should wait, sit back and wait, and let the circumstances come towards you. Maybe there's a job ad in the newspaper or something that you see that kind of relates to what you're doing. That's when you should start taking action towards what it is you want. It's a more efficient way than just taking random action and not accomplishing much in the process.
And I think that makes sense, too. Just thinking about something isn't going to necessarily make it happen. You really have to work. And I think so often we see people out there who we think everything sort of comes to them. Everything sort of falls in their lap. But if you talk to them, they work towards that. They really believe that they're going to have it, and they really have that positive energy. How does gratitude fall into that?
Well, gratitude is really, really important because, and again, we go back to emotions. Emotions determine what you attract. not so much the thoughts, but the emotions. And gratitude is the highest form of happiness. Because when you're grateful for something, you're feeling your vibration, your happiness is at the highest level. So when you feel grateful for things that you get, the little things, just every little thing that you see. They don't have to be grateful for big things, but just, someone opens the door for you, or just, the waiter at the restaurant or something that treats you really well. Just being grateful for those kind of things causes you to be vibrating at a really high level.
And I think sometimes even being grateful for the challenges we experience in life, or I think some of the things we've talked about this before, the most difficult things are times when you're ill or something like that, or when you learn the most about yourself or maybe about others, and it's through those challenges, if we can be grateful for that too, something that we maybe perceive as being negative, that's a good thing. So I guess the bottom line here for people reading your book, especially as it relates to finding a job, is kind of following those 4 steps and really believing that it can happen, making yourself open to it, and then waiting a little bit before you take action, right?
Yes, but you have to realize too that, and again I go into the book, it's not just the law of attraction, there are other laws that come into play, and one of it is that you have to see the whole big picture. See, a lot of times when people try to manifest something, a lot of negative things come in. Maybe they go for the interview and it doesn't work their way, they don't get the job. But you have to look at the big picture. Maybe the rejection of something is a stepping stone towards something better. That's something that's rarely discussed, but that's what it is. You may get 3 rejections, but maybe you meet somebody along the way, and maybe something happens to where it's going to get you to where you want to go. So you can't just come to the first rejection or the first bad event that happens to you and then just say, I give up. Because the universe is trying to bring everything to you in a certain manner, and you just can't be discouraged just by that one negative thing that happens.
And oftentimes you don't realize how things fall into place until you're able to look back and say all those things led me to this point.
And happened for a reason. So nice to meet you. Great book.
Thank you.
Here's the information so that you can get your own copy. It's totallawofattraction.com. You can find Dr. Che's book there and get yourself the life you want.